How's it going, guys? Mike Sheemer here. Want to do a quick video on why I think it is important, whether you're in Live Good or you have any other business, you should at least buy a couple domain names, and it's a great investment. Um, Very low cost, especially. I mean, if you're not getting a premium domain name, like something ridiculous like fitness.com or something that would cost tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even more these days. But if you're buying a regular domain name at GoDaddy or Network Solutions, Name.com, um, web hosting companies, anything like that, you can even buy them through Google unless they just canceled it. I mean, they cancel a lot of things. But you probably through WordPress. I mean, everyone sells domain names. There are countless resellers as well. So it only costs $10 to $20 to get a normal domain name, maybe 25 at the most. You can get all kinds of things. .com is the most common and the most reputable usually. Then there's .org and .net aren't too bad. .co is okay. Yeah, I mean .info is a little spammy, and there are so many ones like .app, and there's a dot everything these days. So you want to go for .com if you can, .org or .net if you can't get that. You might even want to get multiple ones if you find a domain name that has the right keywords, the right length. Then you might want to get a couple different versions of it. So you get the .com version, and then you also get that same domain as the .net, .org, so nobody else can get it. .uk, .us, those aren't bad too. Some countries you might even be required to get those types of domain names, unless you use some other methods of doing so. But what you can do besides creating your own website, which I highly recommend, or your own blog with a custom domain name. Again, I highly recommend that. I've done all that stuff. I have 35 domain names I own, maybe 20 websites and blogs. Um, so, I know what I'm doing. I've had these domain names since I've had I've had domain names. I've had about 40 or 50 domain names overall since 2008. So I mean, maybe or maybe early 2009. I forget, but I think it was 2008. I had like MikeScheemerFitness.com, ResultsBusinessSolutions.com, ResultsPrivateFitness.com. I forget if I had like a pet website, a Sheemer Enterprises website. I mean, I had all kinds of stuff back in the day. I still own a ton right now. But so you can make those full websites and full blogs. That's great. You should do that. If you can't do that, or in the meantime, or you don't know how to really set it up correctly because it gets a little complicated to do it the right way. If you don't, it'll really mess up your SEO. It could mess up a lot of things. So you want to do it the right way. There are tutorials, tons of good ones. I've used them because I didn't know anything when I got these domain. I knew very little, maybe a little more than the average person, but I was a beginner definitely when I started out, and I don't think I became really like an expert until like maybe 2018 on that kind of stuff. Um, I'm by no means a top webmaster, but I'm pretty good. I'm up there these days after all the stuff I've done for 15 years. And so what you can do if you don't know how to do it correctly, you can forward your domain name, your vanity domain name, automatically to whether it's a landing page, a blog, a website, a social media account. I used to own frugalfitnesstv.com, the domain name, and I would forward it to my YouTube channel, to this YouTube channel, back when it was Frugal Fitness TV. So instead of sharing youtube.com slash my frugal fitness, it was just Frugal Fitness TV. It was nice and simple, and you could do something even smaller than that ideally, but I let that domain name go whatever expire, and that's fine. But it was pretty cool, and I could have used that more than I did a long time ago. 10 years ago. I could buy it again if I want to, or buy something similar. Somebody might have bought it, and they like to sit on domain names so they can sell them for 10, 20, 50 times what they paid, and that's not a bad idea. I almost started doing that. I just didn't have the time, but you know I would highly recommend you spend the $25 or the $50 to get at least 2 domain names. Just for Live Good alone, I bought 2 domain names, one for my landing page, my tour page, and one for my product store page. And like I said, I have another 30 something domains. I know a lot of people who own multiple domain names, and a lot of them, they just forward them over. It's not a big deal. You don't have to be an expert. It takes literally 3 minutes to set up a forwarding, a forwarding, permanent forwarding setup, and you can always change it. That is huge. So you always have that domain name, but you can always change where you forward it to or what it's associated with, what website or page, or even a social media account. You could forward it to your Facebook profile. I mean, the the possibilities are endless. So it's very low cost. When you integrate it with a real website or blog, then you can get the SSL certificate, Secure Socket Layer, I think it is, the HTTPS. So that is good for your domain authority. It's good for security on your website. It looks good for users. People are they're not even going to visit a non-secured site these days. Pretty much everything is secured at this point. And if you go on Chrome or something like that, or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, if you click on a non-secure link, then they're gonna give you a prompt, and it's not good. You'll rank much lower if you don't have that SSL certificate. So when you forward it, it's a little tricky because you don't have the secure version of it. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just do it super simple. So it's really good for your personal brand. It's good for your business. It's a good investment. It only costs maybe $15 to $20 per year. And there's a few taxes and fees involved, but still $15, $20, $25 per year, that's nothing. So if you can't do that, if you can't invest in that, then maybe you're not meant to have an online business. I mean, even I was the cheapest person in the world, but I at least had 3 to 5 domain names at all times, minimum. And you should too. So check out your name. You can put your name as your domain, so no one else can do it. So I have MikeSchemer.com. I have MichaelSchemer.com. I used to have other ones with the Schemer name in it, but just the main two. And I've claimed everything else. I have all the SEO for my name set up. So, I mean, it's not as important for me. I have it all set up, but you might not. What is going to show up when people search for your name? If you have, yourname.com, then you control the narrative. If you have your social media accounts claimed and your blogs claimed, you control the search results to an extent. If you don't, somebody else could do it. And guess what? It's a gray area. So, and are you gonna hire like a lawyer or something to get your domain name back, or to like sue somebody if they're using it for bad intent? I mean, no, of course not, because it's not worth the time and money and stress. So it's just a simple precaution. It's good for your reputation. It's good for your identity, your personal brand, everything like that. So you need to really just, take the 10 minutes, take the 30 minutes, buy the domain names, figure out how to forward them over. And, there's YouTube tutorials on here. How to buy a domain name, how to forward a domain name, how to start a blog, how to start a WordPress website, how to host a WordPress blog or something. And they'll give you step-by-step instructions. And just make sure it's a recent one, within the last few years. It doesn't change a lot, but um, you don't want to be watching a video probably from like 2015 or 2017. You want at least like the past 3 to 5 years, I would say, for a tutorial. But you'll find out, if it's not updated, then you'll figure it out. You'll be like, okay, this is not working. I gotta check a different one. So if one video doesn't work, the other tutorial video will work. Um, so I hope this helps. I hope you take the opportunity to either get that first domain name or get a couple more that make sense for your business and your personal, brand and reputation. And there are unlimited options out there. So I want you to keep watching more videos, and I'm gonna publish more soon. I'm still kind of getting healthy again, getting my Live Good products in, getting a couple reps in the basement gym. And I got a lot more good content coming soon for you later this month and definitely in 2024. So subscribe, like, check out my Live Good business opportunity below. The products I'm using to get back in shape, get healthier, especially for next year. That link is below. And take a look at my websites and my other resources below too for more kind of digital marketing tips, blogging tips, website tips, SEO strategies. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.